Hello everyone and welcome to my site. Today we're going to talk about understanding the two wills of us. In our last video we talked about how it's so much more important what we do to others than what we believe. Now I've had some responses from that, and people say, well, a lot of times we act upon our beliefs. We act on our will. Action comes from the decision to go out and act. We may base it on a belief, but the most important thing is what we actually do, what we physically do to others is what causes a reaction from those others. Now this doing that we're talking about may be just simply some words that we've had perhaps in a negative way, or even in a very inspiring way. You got to remember something about people. They don't always remember what you wear. They don't always remember what you said. They don't remember what you've written. They don't even remember what you look like. But they will never forget how you made them feel. That's something I have to remind myself of every Friday night when I go to the federal penitentiary to give speeches and talk with the inmates. Quite often there is not enough guards around, and I simply have, sometimes I've had as high as 55 men, inmates of all different crimes around me. And many of them are deeply inspired by the things I've said to them, by what I've taught them about themselves. And it's vitally important that I remember it's how I've helped them to feel about me rather than what I actually do say to them. Now let's get down to work here. Forgetfulness of body and command over your body with your soul will are one of the supreme achievements of your genius side. This is why geniuses go off on their own. They get away from everything and everybody, including the sensing of their own body. You have done this. Anytime you see beauty, you have forgotten your sensing side. It is not your eyes that see beauty. Your eyes see color and light and tone, just as an animal does. It is your inner self that knows beauty, and that knowing has caused you to forget your body. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, it is most important for you to recognize and hear and see. Surround yourself with as much beauty as you possibly can so that you can be inspired. It doesn't make any difference what it is. It can be pictures on a calendar. It can be any kind of music that makes you feel deeply inspired. Now, you forget your body whenever you have these tremendous ideas, big flashes of ideas. That is when you have reached your inner soul of you. Not just your brain memories, but your inner soul sends a flash. It's actually a short between the two lobes of the brain. And this causes you to forget your body sensing. Now this is a tremendous problem because you are enslaved by habits of your sensing, such as desiring more body gratifications than engendering the soul with knowing beauty. It's okay to want materialistic things. That's fine. That is fine. But you want to balance that with also seeing and knowing beauty. Therefore, it is vitally important that you live both in your body and in the high heavens at the same time, if at all possible. That's why it's so important to journal and write poetry, if for no other reason than for your own brain, the benefit of your brain. Your brain gets a great deal of benefit from meditation and so forth. The more body we desire, the more we go back to the primate history of ourselves. You see, in the visible side of the world, we were once totally primate. We were of the jungle, and we survived by our primitive ways and means. We developed over the years a civilization which helped us to create peace. And this interchange, we are now, our physical primitive side is only 7,000 years old, you see. I take that back, I'm sorry. Our primitive side is, say, like 1,000,000 years old, whereas our inspirational side is like 7,000 or 8,000 years old. For some of us, it's even less than that on our inspiring side. It all depends upon the reincarnated skills of how we've gone into the beauty of self. This is the constant interchange, the will to give and be regiven from the inside. Notice that I have buyer on the red. Anytime you buy something, you are on the red father phase. Anytime you sell something, you are giving birth to that thing that you are selling. You are giving birth of ownership to someone else. Now, do you always sell and never buy? Of course not. Do you ever always buy and never sell? Of course not. There is a balanced interchange between the two. And if we understand our two wills of us, the soul will is the one who brings forth those inspiring realizations of the light within. And also the physical will that says, I want this object or this way of life. When we balance those two together, we are using the two wills of us. You have a soul will and a sensing body will. Thank you very much for all your kind remarks and comments that you've sent me. I look forward to hearing from you much more often. Thank you and have a wonderful week.